Hip-hop history's pivotal rivalry between Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. is characterized by friendship, treachery, and tragedy. These two legendary musicians, who came up in the vibrant hip-hop scene of the 1990s, worked together at first but soon got into a growing rivalry between the East and West Coasts. Their partnership and the ensuing tension not only influenced their professional lives but also had a long-lasting effect on the music business and popular culture. In this video, we will highlight 7 key points that encapsulate their complex dynamic and its enduring legacy. Number 7. Origins. The Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur came from distinct but similar backgrounds that influenced their artistic identities and eventually brought them together in the early 1990s. Born in East Harlem, New York on June 16, 1971, Tupac grew up in a politically engaged household. Afeni Shakur, his mother, was a Black Panther Party member, which gave him a strong sense of social justice and made him aware of systemic problems. His upbringing had an impact on his music, which frequently addressed issues of racism, poverty, and violence. He started out as a backup dancer and rapper for the hip-hop group Digital Underground. In 1991, he released his debut solo album, Tupacalypse Now, which was well received by critics for its moving lyrics. On the other hand, Brooklyn, New York is the place of Christopher Wallace's birth on May 21, 1972. Better known as the Notorious B.I.G., Biggie found comfort in music and storytelling despite growing up in a difficult neighborhood that was plagued by poverty and crime. His distinctive fusion of eloquent storytelling and polished delivery was on full display in his 1994 debut album, Ready to Die, which catapulted him to prominence in the East Coast hip-hop scene. As they moved through the emerging hip-hop scene together, exchanging stories at industry gatherings and working together on songs, their friendship grew and prepared the ground for what many believe would be a potent alliance that could unite the East and West Coasts. Number 6. Betrayal. The famous shooting at Quad Recording Studios in November 1994 marked a turning point in Tupac and Biggie's relationship. Tupac was waiting to meet with some associates during this horrific incident when he was shot multiple times during a robbery. He was left physically and psychologically traumatized by this violent encounter, which also increased his level of paranoia and mistrust for people in his immediate vicinity. After the attack, Biggie and his friends were publicly accused by Tupac of knowing about the plot against him beforehand but not alerting him this accusation would follow him for years to come. The fact that Biggie had dropped Ready to Die not long after Tupac was shot added to his sense of betrayal. Tupac saw this as opportunistic behavior that heightened his hostility. Their relationship saw a dramatic change as a result of this incident. When it started out as mutual support turned into animosity marked by accusations and in-person conflicts. During this time, Tupac's sense of betrayal emerged as a major theme in his music, which resulted in increasingly violent lyrics directed towards Biggie and his entourage. Number 5. Media influence. The storyline surrounding Tupac and Biggie's rivalry was greatly influenced by the media, which frequently sensationalized their fight in order to generate interest and make headlines. Media outlets started portraying their feud as a part of a broader East Coast versus West Coast split within hip-hop culture as it intensified in the mid-1990s. This narrative struck a chord with viewers and also played a major role in escalating tensions between the fans of both artists. In addition to splitting listeners, this portrayal fostered a culture in which artists were forced to take sides out of loyalty to their home regions rather than artistic merit. Interviews, publications, and news pieces often emphasized their disagreements while ignoring the underlying problems that drove their enmity. This constant focus turned their private struggles into widely seen public spectacles that captured viewers' attention but frequently misrepresented the nuanced aspects of their relationship. Fans of hip-hop became entangled in rivalries rather than recognizing the unique talents of both musicians as a result of the media's preference for sensational stories over thoughtful conversations about artistry. In the end, this dynamic serves as a warning about how stories have the power to sway public opinion and have an adverse effect on actual results. Number 4. Diss tracks. Diss tracks, a prevalent hip-hop practice that enables artists to directly address conflicts through lyrical confrontation, became a vehicle for both Tupac and Biggie to vent their frustrations as their feud grew more intense. Hit "Em Up," a diss song by Tupac that was released in June 1996, is among the most notorious ones ever. With harsh lyrics that accuse Biggie of betrayal and infidelity with Tupac's former girlfriend Faith Evans, he takes aim at the rapper directly in the song, adding a personal element to their public feud. Biggie's "Who Shot Ya" was released in retaliation, and although it was released before the Quad shooting incident, many saw it as a reaction to Tupac's accusations. This further complicated their rivalry. Biggie insisted that the song was not directed specifically at Tupac, but its release at the right moment stoked their rivalry and solidified support for opposing viewpoints. These diss tracks came to symbolize not only their rivalry but also how private issues could become public discourse. turning artistic expression into a weapon in the ongoing hip-hop power struggle. Number 3. Tragic murders. The Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur's tragic deaths mark the tragic culmination of their rivalry, shocking fans around the world and leaving a lasting impression on hip-hop culture. The music industry was rocked by his death, which left fans grieving not only for the loss of a tremendously gifted musician but also for the violent conclusion of a life full of promise and the possibility of bringing change to underprivileged communities via art. Biggie was only 24 years old when he was shot multiple times while sitting in his car following an industry party in Los Angeles, and he was murdered under similar circumstances just 6 months later, on March 9, 1997. Despite multiple investigations over the years, both murders are still officially unsolved. This lack of closure has given rise to a great deal of conjecture regarding gang involvement or revenge connected to their rivalry, casting doubt on the legacies of both artists while drawing attention to larger societal issues regarding gun violence in American communities. Number 2. Cultural impact. Hip-hop culture has turned the tragic deaths of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. into cautionary tales about the perils of rivalries fueled by ego, pride, and outside pressures from media narratives that prioritize sensationalism over substance. Their narrative serves as an example of how private disputes can turn into public spectacles with disastrous results, not only for the people directly involved, but also for the fans who look up to these celebrities without realizing the complexity of their personal lives or the challenges they face on a daily basis away from the spotlight. As a result of people realizing how easily things can spiral out of control if left unchecked, initiatives encouraging unity among artists have emerged as a response to prevent similar tragedies from occurring again. In the years after their deaths, many artists have reflected on these legacies while advocating for peace within hip-hop communities. In addition, conversations about mental health awareness have gained momentum among musicians who are aware of the tremendous pressure that fame comes with, which can lead some people down dangerous paths if ignored. In the end, the cultural impact of Tupac and Biggie's rivalry offers a chance for advancement in current hip-hop culture, as well as a chance to reflect on past mistakes. Number 1. Enduring legacy. Tupac died at the age of 25 and Biggie died at the age of 24, but their tragic endings didn't stop the profound influence these two icons have on today's music industry. Their skill never goes out of style. Albums like Biggie's Ready to Die and Tupac's All Eyes on Me are regarded as classics that helped shape hip-hop, as well as other musical genres by combining poignant social commentary and inventive storytelling techniques to address themes like poverty and violence, which are still relevant in today's world of music. Both musicians are widely honored in modern music, from samples used by tribute-seeking rappers to documentaries delving into the complexity of their lives beyond simple rivalries and demonstrating how influential they are even decades after their deaths. In the end, though, it is imperative that we not only honor the contributions of these icons, but also the lessons that have been learned from difficult periods in hip-hop history, serving as a constant reminder of the potential of art and a call to prioritize compassion over conflict for the benefit of coming generations. Finally, Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G.'s entwined legacies serve as poignant reminders of the complexities of fame, friendship, and rivalry within the hip-hop community. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.